But the framers of the Constitution put the security of this nation in the hands of the president, his vice president, who are the chairpersons of the National Security Council. So if I do not feel safe as a citizen in a democratic republic of Ghana, the person who should be held responsible first and foremost is the commander-in-chief and his appointees, because he swears an oath to keep us all safe when he is elected as president. Now, what pertains? The person who is responsible for our security, in my view, has excess security around him. In my view, some people think he needs more security. In fact, some security men are assigned to just guard a chair. I think he has excess security around him, but he is responsible for our security. Ghanaian people do not seem to have a problem with the security around our presidents. We never really have had or raised issues with how many security men are appointed to guard the president. Now he's responsible for our security. We don't have an issue with that. When the president nominates somebody amongst us to become a minister of state, which is also, by the way, a privileged position, he also is given police protection. As a people, we don't have a problem with that. We don't seem to have a problem with that at all. And I wonder why we don't. Because if we do not feel safe, and the person who is responsible for our safety is acting in ways that suggest that he is more concerned about his safety and the safety of his appointees, I think we should have issues with that. But we don't seem to have issues with that. So he nominates somebody to become a minister, and he's entitled to a police officer, and we don't have a problem. He appoints somebody to become a district chief executive. He's given a police officer to protect him or her. And again, the Ghanaian people, we don't have a problem with that. That is the person who is supposed to ensure that or guarantee our security. He nominates someone as DCE. Heck, even when he nominates one of us, members of parliament, to become a minister, he's given police protection, and we don't have a problem with that. So like I said, by my orientation and my upbringing, when I see unfairness and imbalance, I seek equity. I seek equity. I'm not saying members of parliament deserve police protection, but I'm asking the question why we can tolerate those who are responsible for our security when they give themselves security, but cannot tolerate the other part. So my hope is that the discussion will lead to a situation where we say, look, if you are minister of state, you are not entitled to a police officer, just like the members of parliament, until you provide security enough for all of us. If you are a district chief executive, you are not entitled to a police officer, because as part of the executive, it is your duty to ensure that the people feel safe. So that you deny all these people that police protection to provide equity. And maybe you even reduce the security around the president and tell the president that he must make the whole country safe enough for all of us not to require personal security. Then equity would have been served. Or you say, because these people have the personal security, let the MPs also have personal security. Equity would have been served. But in my view, equity will be more served when we all, work towards ensuring that our country is that safe that you will not require special police protection, whether you are minister, whether you are DCE, whether you are MP, or whether you are just, a taxi driver or a market woman. That for me is when equity will be served. But whose responsibility really and truly is it to ensure that a situation like that happens? I think by the Constitution, it's the executive. It's the president who is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. And so today, if we all feel insecure, yes, the members of parliament may be acting in ways that seem insensitive to the general plight. I mean, to the plight of the general public. But who has made it so? Who has created a situation where we are all trying to make sure that we get security for ourselves? If you can afford, as a citizen, you go get security, personal security. Why? Because your government has failed you. That perhaps is the elephant in the room. This whole talk of insecurity is because authorities have not lived up to expectation in providing us the necessary security required. But shy of blaming the executive and the government, we are doing patches here and there, because providing members of parliament police protection will not guarantee or ensure security across the country. But that should be the ideal we should be working towards.